Hi guys, it's Meat here, and in this video we're going to talk about cross-platform gaming, sort of where it's been, where we're at currently, and where I think it can go in the near future. So rewind about 3 months, and Sony released a statement saying they were vehemently against cross-platform gaming in the interest of protecting their users. They were saying they couldn't account for what users of other consoles would do, and they couldn't control it, so therefore they said they didn't want them to mix with users of other platforms. What a load of bollocks, basically. And you can understand Sony's position on this one, because they are quite clearly the market leaders. So by allowing cross-platform play, Sony are essentially relinquishing their position of power. The reason being is that currently, let's say, I don't know the exact figures, but let's say 2 people own a PlayStation for every 1 person owns an Xbox. So the chances are, if you're wanting to play with your friends, most of them will own PlayStations rather than Xboxes. So you will naturally go buy a PlayStation and PlayStation games so you can play with your friends on the most simplest of terms. However, by allowing cross-platform play, it means that you can choose whatever console you want and you can still play with your friends. So people who were sitting on the fence and wanted an Xbox now don't have to buy a PlayStation. They can just go out and buy an Xbox and play with a friend still. So Sony's losing that sort of momentum that they've gained from having such a strong lead in the console market. So you can understand why they don't want to allow cross-platform play. But the holy warfare that occurred when they came up with these sort of poor excuses of why they didn't want to allow it, about protecting the customers, that was pretty lame, and it really kicked back and blew up in the faces, which is what has led them to having to sort of allow it. So on September the 19th, 2017, Fortnite accidentally flipped a switch, which created crossplay without the agreement of Microsoft or Sony. So the hardware, the underlying hardware, was all in place anyway, and it was just through some coincidence that someone noticed that they were playing against other people from a different platform. This obviously got out, and immediately Sony flipped the switch on it to stop it. And in light of this, there was a lot of furor from the fans saying, why can't this happen? If the infrastructure's there already, then what's to stop it? The only people who benefit from this are the fans. And then there was a lot of social media interest, and even Phil Spencer from Microsoft got on board and said, we're really behind this, we're happy for it to happen. But naturally they would, because as we've mentioned before, it benefits them, whereas it's a negative thing for Sony. But everyone wants it to happen, but Sony seem to be sort of holding it back at this stage. So this sort of lumbers on for a few months, and the sort of public opinion on it is getting stronger and stronger, and there's some real vitriol towards Sony about why they won't let cross-platform happen, particularly with Fortnite and Rocket League, two big games which it suits perfectly. And it sort of comes to a head. Sony released this really poor statement on the matter, saying they're protecting the fans by not allowing it, and then just shit hits the fan, and it goes crazy. And there's a lot of really bad negative publicity towards Sony regarding it. So September 2018, a year exactly from when they accidentally flipped on the switch to allow cross-platform, Sony come out and they say, they're tooting it, that this is, we're behind it now. We've sort of come to our senses, and certainly for Fortnite, we're going to allow it, which is understandable, because Fortnite is just a behemoth, and it's the biggest game around at the minute. So it's in their interest to sort of make this happen. So naturally, fans from PlayStation and Xbox are elated at this idea. Everyone wants a combined community. It's only positive that there's more people to play with. You can play with your friends on any consoles. It's fantastic. And sort of this is where the snowball has started slowly growing. So just the other day, 3 months after Fortnite was announced as a cross-platform game, then we see Rocket League also comes out and says, we're going to do this too. We're going to have cross-platform on all consoles. Fantastic. Everyone's winning. So from here, the natural sort of step is that this will evolve into other games, which is fantastic. So at this stage, I thought we'd just take a look at some of the games that I think will go cross-platform in a bit of a chronological order of how I can see the sort of dominoes falling and how it will pan out in the future. So the first one is Minecraft. Minecraft is cross-platform on all consoles apart from Sony, and it's a huge game. So naturally, I think this will be the third game that goes cross-platform. Again, Minecraft is a game with an extremely active community who are very vocal, and I think it's clear that they want it to happen, and also it's in the interest, because Minecraft is one of the biggest selling games of all time, to combine all the players into sort of one community, a single community. So that inevitably is going to happen very soon. After that, things become a little more murky. Those are the sort of three huge console games which have strong communities, which are really pushing for this sort of thing, for cross-platform play. What I would say is I can really see games like Destiny benefiting from cross-platform play. That would really, be fantastic. And likewise for Anthem coming out in the future. Both games sort of action RPG, first-person shooters, would really benefit from having a big pool of players to pull from. Then you've got the likes of PlayerUnknown Battlegrounds, which is coming out on the PlayStation soon. I can definitely see that being a cross-platform game, and it can only benefit. I mean, the numbers on the Xbox, I wouldn't say are dwindling, but they've definitely depleted since it first came out. And sometimes getting games on some of the bigger maps, you don't even fill them. But obviously, if you're pulling from two huge player bases, then it's just a better overall experience for everyone. You should be getting games quicker and be getting them full of players. It's only a winner for the community. And then after that, I think you've got the likes of Battlefield 5, Call of Duty. I don't think they will happen as soon as the other games, but I definitely think either come sort of the next iteration of each of those games, or certainly somewhere down the line in the summer, maybe after E3, they will announce that those games are going cross-platform too. I think inevitably sort of Fortnite and Rocket League have started the snowball slowly going down the hill, and it will become an unstoppable force where I hope eventually all games are cross-platform. It's crazy to think that in this day and age they aren't. The only people it doesn't benefit are the leading games company that the fans all want it. Why wouldn't you want a bigger pool of players to play against or play with, irrelevant of whether you're on a PlayStation or an Xbox or a Switch? It's sort of one community. It's a video gaming community. So yeah, it's beneficial for us all to all play together in that sense. So I think it's exciting. I think this is one of the circumstances where sort of the community pull together in a positive manner and make something happen. So those are my thoughts on cross-platform play. I hope you liked them. I hope you found it interesting. If you did, be sure to give it a like. If not, give me a dislike and give me some feedback on what you didn't like. And if you enjoyed the video, I'll be doing more content, so be sure to subscribe. Thank you very much.